What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do that really annoying thing that people on YouTube do, where they go on about how much they hate their car. Because in actual reality, I don't hate the car. If I hated the car, I wouldn't still have it. I don't know if it's a British thing or not, but we seem to like to moan about everything, and no matter how good the situation, we always seem to find faults. And when it comes to cars, the BMW i8, like every other car, it's far from perfect. It has imperfections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 things I hate. Well, no, hate's actually such a strong word. 5 things that piss me off. No, that's even worse. 5 things that annoy me about the BMW i8. Okay, let's move on really quickly. Let's get through this. The first thing that I dislike about the BMW i8 has got to be the side windows. And I know the whole point of windows is you can see through them, blah blah blah. Yes, you can do that. 10 out of 10 for being a window. But when you crank the window down, you'll notice that this is the lowest the window goes. Now, it may not seem like a big deal. It's kind of like, it's a small little issue until you start to use the car. You notice that you can't hang your arm out the window, which I guess you shouldn't be doing whilst you're driving anyways. But if you use this car for what it was originally designed for, which is of course a McDonald's drive-through, because the whole point of a BMW i8 is a McDonald's drive-through. You want to use a drive-through because you don't want to walk into McDonald's and bump shoulders with average people who drive average cars, because you're a BMW i8 owner and you're above all that. By the way, I'm just being sarcastic, so don't give me any negative comments. I'm not really like that. But if you take this car to drive-through, you'll notice that because the window doesn't crank all the way down, it's a struggle to feed food through the window. Especially if you order like a large Coke. You have to tilt it at an angle to get through the window. Not the biggest deal, but again, it's annoying. You think, if you look at the car from the outside, you look at the door, you're thinking, there's no possible reason why it should be designed like that. Now, the second thing which I dislike about the BMW i8 is not like a little annoyance, it's actually like a safety hazard. It's got to be the blind spot on the passenger side. Now, if you look at this A-pillar, it is really thick and it's angled so aggressively, and the mirror hides a lot of what you're seeing below as well. So it's like when you're pulling at a junction, looking towards your left, you have to be very careful, because I'm not going to lie, I can't see a single thing which is going on. So when I'm at a junction, basically I have to just crawl. I mean, you have to be very careful at junctions. And I know, obviously in any car you have to be careful at junctions, but more so in this one. I can't see what's going on, so what I'm going to do, so what I have to do is I have to just basically creep forward ever so slowly, hoping that any cars coming in the other direction, they can like clock me, they see me, they know that I've got limited vision. I mean, it's one of those things where cars designed to look a certain way, but in actual reality it kind of hinders a lot of the practicality of a car. Okay, the third thing I dislike about the BMW i8 has got to be the old-fashioned display. And I realise that looks like it's having a spaz attack, but that's as good as a picture I'm going to get for you. But the display is so, it reminds me of like a Casio watch from back in the day. Now, if you look at the age of this car, 2014 is when they designed this car, and you look at the mobile phone technology they had back in 2014. Remember those old phones where you could actually just change the background display? You can change the colour of all the icons and all that. See, that technology is not expensive. Phones which cost like £300 back in the day could do that. So why BMW never had like a USB port where you can just plug in and download an updated software every now and again? Because it's the screens which really show the age on any car. So that, it's like, oh, I can't not talk about this. Look at that. That's old school BMW for you right there. 1 through 8. Now, I do not know for the life of me what on earth these buttons do, but I see them in old BMWs. I mean, if you know what these do, hit me a comment down below, let me know. But it's so old-fashioned in what's supposed to be a futuristic car. I mean, I'm too scared to press any of these buttons in case it changes something and I don't know how to reverse it back. But 1 through 8, yeah, what on earth is that? Most buttons, like for instance, the heated seat gives you a picture of a seat with some heat lines coming out. So it at least indicates what it does. Numbers 1 through 8, there's no indication. What does that even do? Okay, the fourth thing which annoys me about the BMW i8 has got to be the location of the rear boot release. Now, the boot button is so close to the window buttons, and obviously in every car, the buttons you use most frequently are going to be the windows. For instance, if I pass wind in this car, I'll need to crank the windows down or I'm going to suffocate. Now, when you go to hit the window buttons, you don't normally look for the window buttons, you kind of just feel for them. And every now and again, with this car, you accidentally open the boot instead of the windows. And if you're driving, you have to stop the car, to get out the car, close the boot, and be on your way again. It's really annoying. Other cars, the rear boot button is either hidden somewhere in the center console, or it's like at the driver's footwell, under the steering wheel. With this car, it's right next to the window buttons. Stupid design flaw. There was no need for it. They should have test driven the car, used it in real scenarios before they released it, because that's annoying. Okay, fifth thing I dislike about the BMW i8 is going to be the doors. I don't know, the whole point of the BMW i8 is the scissor doors or the butterfly doors. But as cool as they look, it makes everyday usability, you know, a wee bit annoying. For instance, when you're parking the car, you can't just open your door. You have to duck your head out underneath it and make sure you can clear the wing mirrors or whichever's parked next to you. Also, as cool as they look, you do not look cool getting in this car. Now, I've owned this car for 2 years and I've tried multiple ways. I've yet to find a way to get in this car and look graceful or respectable, or just at least not look stupid, because the door sill is so thick, it's so wide that you kind of, over the years, I've kind of just accepted that to get into this car, you have to just fall into it, and you look like, well, you look like this. See, it looks really stupid, and your legs kind of that dangly leg part where your legs just flail about and you look like Pinocchio. That is the coolest way to get into this car. So as cool as this car looks, you look like a douche every time you get into it. I've actually thought of a sixth thing I don't like about this car. Well, I was struggling earlier on, but now, well, there's a lot of things I need to mention. The sixth thing has got to be the rear boots. Now, I've mentioned in a video before that the rear boot is tiny, it doesn't have much space because of the petrol engine in the back. I'm not going to talk about boot space. I'm just going to talk about the fact that you can't store cold items in the boot because the petrol engine gets warm, and it gets warm very quickly. If you're one of these people that buys ice cubes, you know, some people buy ice cubes. Why do people buy ice cubes? You know, you can't get that for free, people. Anyways, if you buy something cold, something frozen, you've got a limited amount of time. You need to get the item out the boot before it turns to water. Okay guys, bonus one, number 7, and I swear this is the last one because what was supposed to be 5 has become 6, has become 7. I'm just going on and on. But this one's an important one. Being that it's an electric car, you don't get much in the way of engine noise and blah blah blah. I kind of already discussed that in a previous video. The gist of it is that lots of people, they come up to you and say, can you rev the engine, expecting to sound really, really angry and really cool, when it turns out it actually sounds like this. Because it's a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine, a Mini Cooper engine, so it sounds pretty pathetic. It doesn't match the looks. That's one thing that annoys me about the engine noise. The second thing is that when you're in town, like city centre, stop-start traffic with people walking in and out between cars, I stay in the city centre so I get a lot of that. Because there's no engine noise, whatever you play on the radio, people outside the car can hear it very, very clearly. So if you're listening to like Elton John, well, you best believe that everyone around you is listening to Elton John with you. So you become acutely aware that when you're at a traffic light, you're stopped and people are walking by the car, you're like, okay, they're listening to what I'm listening to, so I better not be listening to anything questionable, because I must admit, at my age, my choice, my taste in music is quite questionable. I'm not afraid to admit, I listen to smooth radio. Smooth radio is legit, but it doesn't match the whole cool persona of the car, so it's one of these annoying things. And, oh, someone's taking a picture of the car. I'll wave, hi. Oh, photographers. Okay guys, that's all from me in this video on the 5 things I dislike about the BMW i8. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more content, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks guys.